On July 7th, 2025, Uranus will enter Gemini for the first time in over 80 years, and it's about to shake up your mind, your message, and the way that you connect to the world. So, are you ready for a mental revolution? Because the universe is about to flip the switch on how we think, how we speak, how we learn, and how we connect, and nothing will ever be the same. Uranus is the planet of awakening, disruption, and genius. And Gemini rules the mind, communication, media, and how we process information. And when we put them together, we're talking about digital revolutions, AI breakthroughs, quantum ideas, and an absolute transformation of how we connect with each other and ourselves. And yes, this is going to hit every single zodiac sign differently. So make sure you know your rising sign for the most accurate results. And if you don't, your sun sign can still give some great insight on how to use this energy for your highest potential and reach stellar alignment. And for parents of teenagers and young adults, I will also be giving you exactly what you need to know about how to support your child based on their rising sign during this time. So stay tuned because your cosmic update is coming next. So let's start with the big picture. Uranus is the planet of surprising changes, disruption, innovation, rebellion, and awakening. And it rules the unexpected, the breakthroughs, and the breakdowns. And Gemini is a mutable air sign that governs communication, thought, education, and how we relate to information. It's also associated with transportation, trade, and the markets. So when Uranus enters Gemini, we are going to get a global level upgrade in how we think and learn, and how we speak our truth, and how we connect with others digitally and energetically. We can also expect to see huge changes in our education systems. Think intuitive learning, digital schooling, or AI teachers. We can see changes also in media and truth as far as censorship, misinformation, and a push for raw, authentic voices. We may also see changes in conscious communication, like telepathy, frequency-based language, or even spiritual downloads becoming more mainstream. And my favorite, I think we're going to see a change or greater awareness of our galactic neighbors. And I'm really excited about this one because, as many of you know, I work with Arcturian and Pleiadian frequencies, and I can't wait to see what's in store. Now, the last time Uranus was in Gemini was from 1941 through 1949. And during that time, the world saw the rise of computers, the invention of television, the Cold War, and massive changes in global alliances, early civil rights activism, and the birth of mass media. But this time, it's not about watching the news. It's really about becoming the message. So let's dive in. Aries Rising, what are you talking about and what are you thinking about? Uranus and Gemini will be moving through your third house until the second week of November, and you'll be getting a preview of what's coming later in 2026. But the third house, this is the house of communication, how we think and speak, transportation, local travel, and relationships with our siblings. So you are about to experience a major shift in how you think and speak and share ideas. So expect your mind to open to new paradigms, maybe even radically different belief systems or interests. You might also feel a sudden urge to study something unusual, like astrology, hint, hint, or launch a podcast or get involved in community projects. Your communication style could become more innovative, more spontaneous, or even rebellious. And relationships with siblings or neighbors or extended family members could also change unexpectedly. If you've been holding back your voice, this is your time to break free and express your truth. You're really being asked to embrace new mental flexibility and find your authentic voice. And for parents of Aries rising children, please remember, your child may become more curious, more restless, or even crave new ways of thinking. So encourage exploration through books, through tech, or hands-on learning. And be open if they have an unconventional interest, even if it seems really random at first. And create space for spontaneous conversations rather than rigid teaching moments. Your boldness will help them to take risks, but your willingness to adapt helps them to feel safe doing so. Taurus Rising, money, 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 money. Yes, I said it, money. For you, Uranus will light up your second house of money, values, and self-worth. And it's going to give you a preview through the second week of November of what's coming later in April of 2026. So I want you to expect unexpected changes in your income streams or how you earn your living. You might explore new ways of making money through tech, through online work, or unconventional paths. And your values may also undergo a revolution. So what you once found secure or important may no longer resonate. And it might feel a little destabilizing, but it's making room for something more aligned. Your relationship with material possessions and self-worth will evolve during this time, and financial freedom could become more important than financial accumulation. So trust that you're learning to define security in a way that supports your freedom. Now, if you're the parent of a Taurus rising teenager or young adult, they will be entering a time of big changes in how they relate to money, self-worth, and personal values as Uranus is going to move through their second house. And this transit could cause them to really question what they've been taught about security, about success, or even their talents. And they might start experimenting with new interests, new income ideas, or value systems that feel radically different than what they've been used to. So during this time, as they're going through these changes, you can support them by encouraging financial literacy, encouraging self-expression, encouraging creativity without clinging too tightly to traditional definitions of stability. They might want to try entrepreneurial ventures or digital platforms or new skills that seem a little unconventional at first, but let them explore. And most importantly, help them to build confidence in not just what they own, but in what they are capable of creating. So change may feel uncomfortable for them and for you as the parent, but it's leading them to discover their own authentic way of thriving. Gemini Rising, this is all about you. It's your party because Uranus will move into your first house of identity, self-expression, and physical appearance. And it will give you a preview of what you can expect through the second week of November until Uranus returns to Gemini in April of 2026. Now, this will be one of the most personal and transformative transits you will ever experience. You're going to feel a deep urge to reinvent yourself, whether it's your appearance, your style, or your entire lifestyle. Change is on the horizon. You might even feel drawn to wear lots of light blue, green, or turquoise colors in your clothing or jewelry, like me. You may feel suddenly more rebellious, more independent, and others might see you as more unconventional, even unpredictable. This is your invitation to break free from the expectations of others and to live more authentically. Let your freak flag fly and allow yourself to evolve into your most liberated self. Now, if you are the parent of a Gemini rising teen or young adult, they may go through dramatic shifts or changes in how they dress, speak, act, or view themselves, and those changes could come fast and unpredictably. They may crave more independence, they may resist labels, or experiment with radically new ways of showing up in the world. Now, as a parent, your greatest gift is to stay curious and supportive, even when their choices challenge your expectations. Help them feel safe exploring who they are without needing to figure it all out right away. This is a powerful awakening period for their individuality, and your encouragement will help them to build confidence in their uniqueness, especially when the world feels uncertain or chaotic. Cancer Rising, massive spiritual insights are on the horizon for you because Uranus will enter your 12th house, which is the realm of the subconscious, solitude, and spirituality. And this will give you a preview through the second week of November of what's coming later when Uranus returns to Gemini in April of 2026. Now, this transit can bring awakenings through dreams, intuition, and hidden insights. Do not underestimate this. I've spent the last 7 years with Uranus in my 12th house, and the amount of sudden insights that I had were absolutely unbelievable. My intuitive development really ramped up in a positive way, and that could happen for you too. Now, you may also experience a deep need to detach from the noise of the world and really tune into your inner voice. Old patterns and subconscious fears may come up to be released, and you might be drawn to meditation, to energy healing, or mystical studies. So expect moments of insight that feel like lightning bolts from your soul. And your sleep patterns or your time alone might feel more important than ever. This will be a powerful time for spiritual liberation and inner freedom. And for parents of Cancer rising teens or young adults, they may become more introspective, more emotionally unpredictable, or drawn into topics that seem out there, like metaphysics, the afterlife, or psychology. They might even begin to experience vivid dreams, spikes in their anxiety, or sudden intuitive downloads that they cannot easily explain. Now, during this time, you may not always see the changes happening on the surface, but trust that there's a powerful inner awakening taking place for your teen or young adult. And support them by creating a safe, non-judgmental space for quiet, for solitude, and emotional processing. Gentle tools like journaling, dream work, therapy, art, or spiritual practices can help them to integrate what's rising from within. And your calm presence will be their anchor through this period of invisible but profound transformation. Leo Rising, tell me all about your friends. Uranus and Gemini will activate your 11th house of community, friendships, groups, and future goals. And it will give you a preview through the second week of November of what's coming later in April 2026 when Uranus returns to Gemini. So you're being called to find your tribe, those who reflect your evolving vision and values. And your friendships may change suddenly. Yes, you could lose some friends, but you also have the potential to gain amazing friends during this time. You may find yourself drawn to more unconventional social groups, and technology or online communities might play a bigger role in your life. Now, your long-term goals could shift dramatically, leading you toward a more innovative or unexpected path. Collaborations can bring sudden breakthroughs. You might even feel called to lead or organize around a cause. So embrace your visionary side and think outside of the box. For parents of Leo rising teens or young adults, they may start breaking away from old peer groups or suddenly switching friend circles or exploring unconventional communities online and offline. They might really question authority figures, or they may rebel against expectations or redefine what success means to them. You can support them by staying open to their evolving social world, even if it looks different from what you imagined, and encourage them to find friends and mentors who really resonate with their values, even if those values are still forming, because your teen or your young adult is discovering how to lead without needing approval. And your steady belief in their uniqueness will give them the courage to chart their own path. Virgo Rising, is there a new job or a new position on the horizon for you? Uranus will move into your 10th house of career, reputation, and public life, and it will give you a preview through the second week of November of what's coming later in April of 2026 when Uranus returns to Gemini. So big changes are coming in how you show up in the world and what you feel called to do. You may break free from traditional career paths to pursue something really more meaningful or unconventional. So expect changes in status, job titles, or your public role. You could step into a new leadership position or create a new business. And your reputation may evolve quickly, especially through technology or social media. So stay open to surprising opportunities that align with your soul purpose. You're really being asked to redefine success on your own terms. Now, if you're the parent of a Virgo rising teen or young adult, you'll notice they usually thrive on order and clear planning, and they might now question authority, they may challenge societal expectations, or abruptly change their goals. They may feel pulled towards unconventional paths, digital careers, or roles that didn't even exist a decade ago. So, as a parent, resist the urge to fix their uncertainty and instead help them to embrace the unknown as part of the discovery process. Encourage exploration while gently reminding them that success doesn't always follow a straight line. Your support will help them to stay grounded while they redefine what achievement and purpose truly means for them. Libra Rising, you are off to see the wizard. Uranus will activate your ninth house of beliefs, higher education, travel, and expansion. And your worldview is going through a shakeup, and it's going to give you a preview through the second week of November of what's coming later in April of 2026 when Uranus returns to the sign of Gemini. You may feel drawn to explore new spiritual paths, new philosophies, or academic studies. And long-distance travel or cross-cultural connections may bring unexpected insights. You're really being invited to challenge old belief systems that no longer serve you. Publishing, teaching, or broadcasting could become exciting new ventures. And the way you see the world and the way that you know your place in it is through changing. So stay curious and stay open to learning. This is a time for expanding your mind and liberating your truth. For parents of Libra rising teens or young adults, They may suddenly question everything they've been taught, from morals, religion, politics, or culture, and they may seek answers in unexpected places. They may be drawn to alternative philosophies, unusual spiritual paths, or radical new ideas that expand their thinking. This is a powerful time of intellectual awakening for them. And your role is to offer calm, non judgmental guidance as they explore. So be open to meaningful conversations, even if their beliefs differ from yours, and show them that love doesn't require agreement. You're helping them to build the inner compass that they will use for the rest of their life. Scorpio Rising peeps. Uranus will be swimming in the deep, dark waters of your eighth house, bringing changes to the areas of intimacy, transformation, and shared resources. You may experience sudden changes in how you share power, money, or emotional energy with others. Themes of trust, vulnerability, and control are up for renewal. Unexpected events could push you into a deep emotional transformation, and you might explore alternative healing methods, or you may decide to get into therapy. But it's important right now to remember that financial partnerships like debts, inheritances, or investments could shift rapidly. This is a time for shedding old emotional baggage and stepping into personal empowerment. Let the old die so something more authentic can emerge. For parents of Scorpio rising teens or young adults, please remember they may go through periods of sudden emotional breakthroughs or deep internal change. Topics like trust, boundaries, sexuality, or even death and rebirth may arise in unexpected ways. Also, your Scorpio rising teen could become more private, more intense, or energetically sensitive. They may start asking deeper questions or seeking freedom from emotional patterns that no longer serve them. You can support them by creating a safe, open space where they can talk about things that are raw or complex without fear of judgment or pressure to explain everything they're thinking. Empower them to trust their inner resilience as they face these changes. And these changes are not always going to be visible from the outside. This is a time of profound personal growth, and your trust in their inner strength will mean more than words to them. Sagittarius Rising, relationships are at the top of the list for you. And that's because Uranus will activate your seventh house of relationships, marriage, and one-on-one connections. This includes business partnerships and clients, and it's going to give you a preview through the second week of November of what's coming later in April of 2026 when Uranus returns to Gemini. So I want you to expect the unexpected in your partnerships. New people could enter your life suddenly, or existing relationships may go through dramatic changes. You're really being asked to embrace freedom and authenticity in how you connect with others. This could also bring in unconventional or non-traditional relationship dynamics. Your relationship needs are evolving. You may desire more space, more independence, or mental stimulation. And if something is not aligned, it may fall away. So embrace this opportunity to form connections that reflect your true self. For parents of Sagittarius rising teens or young adults, they may attract unusual friendships or go through sudden breakups, breakthroughs, or revelations about what they need in close relationships. Their idea of connection may become more experimental or freedom-based, and they may question traditional roles or expectations in relationships. You can support them by modeling healthy boundaries, mutual respect, and flexibility in how people relate, and help them to understand that it's okay to want independence in relationships. What matters is authenticity and emotional clarity, and your non-judgmental guidance will give them the confidence that they need to form connections that are both meaningful and liberating. Capricorn Rising, Uranus will be in your 6th house of daily routines, health, work, and service, and your day-to-day life is about to become a little bit more unpredictable, but also more exciting. This will give you a preview through the second week of November of what's coming later in April of 2026 when Uranus returns to Gemini. You may experiment with alternative health practices or new approaches to wellness, and changes in your job or work environment are likely, especially if you felt stuck or bored. Your relationship with productivity and structure is shifting. And this is a great time to innovate your routines or to try new systems or to incorporate technology into your workflow. Prioritize freedom and flexibility in your schedule. The more you adapt, the more breakthroughs you will experience. And if you're the parent of a Capricorn rising teen or adult, you know that your teen or young adult is usually dependable and disciplined, but during this transit, they may begin questioning routines, rebelling against rigid schedules, or needing more freedom in how they manage school, chores, or even their well-being. So sudden changes in health, and they can be physical or mental, dietary habits, or daily rhythm could arise, prompting a new relationship with balance and self-care. You can support them by helping them to create flexible routines that still offer a sense of purpose without being overly strict, and encourage innovative ways of working and learning. This will be a great time to explore time management apps, body-mind practices, or alternative wellness methods. Your steady support will help them find a rhythm that works for who they are becoming, not just for who they've been. Aquarius Rising, what are you doing for fun? Tell me. Uranus will move into your 5th house of creativity, romance, and self-expression. You are about to break free in the most joyful, creative, and expressive parts of your life. And it's going to give you a preview through the second week of November of what's coming later in April of 2026 when Uranus returns to the sign of Gemini. So a new romance could begin unexpectedly, or an existing one may transform. Your creative energy is awakening in bold and unconventional ways, and you may feel called to take risks or try new hobbies or showcase your talents. And children or parenting themes could also change, bringing new perspectives or experiences. Above all, you're really being asked to reconnect with what makes you feel alive. So say yes to fun, play, and self-discovery. And if you are the parent of an Aquarius rising teen or young adult, they may experiment with new creative outlets, or they may take a bold risk in love or art, or they could suddenly shift their style, their passions, or social identity. This is a time when they are redefining what it means to be themselves, and it might look eccentric or unpredictable or unconventional to you. You can support them by encouraging exploration without rushing to judgment or limiting their freedom to express. Be curious about what excites them, even if it changes quickly or does not follow the norm. Your acceptance gives them the courage to be unapologetically original, and that's exactly what this transit is asking of them. And for you, Pisces Rising, there's no place like home. Uranus will light up your fourth house of home, family, and emotional foundations. And changes in your living situation or family dynamics are on the horizon. And this is going to give you a preview through the second week of November of what's coming later in April of 2026. You may move unexpectedly, renovate, or redefine your idea of home. Emotional patterns tied to your upbringing may come up for release. It's a time to create a home that truly reflects your soul. So your roots are being rewired so that you can feel freer and more supported. Ancestral healing could play a big role in this cycle. So let yourself build a new foundation emotionally, spiritually, and physically, one that feels more authentic to who you are becoming. And for parents of Pisces rising teens or young adults, they may seem more restless at home, they may want more independence, or they may begin questioning family patterns and traditions that once felt safe. They might even express a need for more mental stimulation, more private space, or freedom to define home on their own terms. You can support them by creating a flexible, emotionally safe home environment where dialogue is open and their need for space is honored. Offer reassurance that change doesn't mean disconnection. It can mean growth, it can mean evolution, and finding a new sense of belonging. Your grounding presence will help them to feel emotionally secure while they redefine what family and home really means to them. So, as Uranus enters the sign of Gemini, we're stepping into a chapter of accelerated thought, evolving communication, and revolutionary ideas. Whether it shakes up our personal lives or transforms the way we connect as a collective, one thing is clear: this transit is here to wake us up mentally, socially, and spiritually. So, what's the best thing that we can do? The best thing that you can do is to stay curious and to stay flexible. Let go of what no longer fits and stay open to what's ready to spark a new life for you. So, whether you're feeling excited, anxious, or inspired, just remember Uranus never brings change without a purpose. And in Gemini, that purpose is to free the mind, liberate the voice, and reconnect us to the power of shared truth. Thanks for watching, and be sure to share this with someone who's ready to ride the waves of change. I'm Brandy Kahn, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay stellar, stay grounded, and keep looking to the skies.